played Tottenham in a pre-season friendly, and I had all my family up at the ground from Denniston. It was like a rogues gallery, and it was great fun. It was actually an emotional day really, because I never thought I'd get the opportunity to come back to Rangers. And I actually done an interview in the January before I got back to Rangers with a guy called Tony Gubber for the BBC, and he just asked me a lot of Wolves questions when it finished the interview process. He said to me, "What's your passions? What do you do?" I says, "I like playing golf and I love to go and watch the Rangers, and as soon as I pack up I'm going to go and watch them play in Europe." And he says, "I'm meeting Alec McLeish tomorrow." And I says, "You tell Alec I'm available for nothing in the summer." And that's how it all came about, getting back up the road. So it was meant to be.
We're glad it happened, don't we? We're glad it happened. Can you tell us your highs and lows when you were at Rangers?
Or lows? I think I was quite fortunate to play against some really imposing guys like Vinnie Jones and Steve McMahon, Steven Gerrard, Roy Keane, so some really ferocious characters. And one of the games at Parkhead, I went to try and smash Aidan McGeady, and he turned his back. Then shit, I can't even swear. And I caught my tooth on his shoulder blade, and it just flew right out. So that was one of my low times, losing a tooth to Aidan McGeady. It doesn't get any worse. And then Alan Thompson had a pile driver and all at their place. But I was up there a wee bit for a radio station last night, which I can't even mention because you don't go on well with them. And I was talking to Chris Commons, and he says he never got a victory at Ibrox, which I found astonishing. And I was fortunate enough to do that. I was part of, I think it was Vignal and Nacho, who just walked around there. To win at Parkhead was absolutely unbelievable, because you will be doing it in a minute when the Celtic team pitch up. You exchange a few pleasantries with the Celtic team. There's usually a couple of thousands of that lot, and then when we came out that day there was about 2 or 3 of them. Didn't want to get back to Royston, so it was great to walk out there with a smile on my face.
I think that's happening just now, actually.
I know, I've just looked at the parts of Hamill. Let's get them.
We'll stay for the rest of the interview, please. Can you tell us your favourite players you played with at Rangers and against?
I was
wore the jersey.
I was talking to again Commons last night, and I was saying to him that Shota Avalazzi was technically unbelievable, and I think Shota scored over 300 odd goals in his career. There's not many guys actually achieve that, but at that period in time we had a great characters, and I know Big Marvin does a lot of. You wouldn't associate Big Marvin with great technical ability, but he had an abundance, was a desire to win. And then you have guys like Fernando and Barry. Michael Ball was a terrific footballer and all, and then you'd Big Dado up top, and then you'd wee Nacho running about like a maniac full of coffee. So you had all these kind of characters throughout the dressing room, and it was just a terrific period, which I never thought I'd get an opportunity to do.
Fantastic. And you must tell us about Helicopter Sunday. The whole, yes. How the day ran for you.
Helicopter Sunday. And I'll try and be as kind of, because I know there's a few kids. 5 games before the Helicopter Sunday, we played Celtic here, and at 2 o'clock, just to give you an example, big Andy Watson would walk into the dressing room, and he would always go like that to the guy who wasn't playing, the gaffer wants you. And then it was at 5 games to go, we played Celtic here, Andy Watson collared me. So Big Alec McLeish nearly cost us the league here, because we lost 2-0 that day. We were leading up to Helicopter Sunday. And on the Thursday, before, a week before, we played Hibs. My wife said to me, I'm going to go away on holiday, because if we lose this today, if you lose that, you'll be a nightmare, you'll be unbearable. And I said, that's lovely, darling, you just get yourself off, right? And I thought, great. The only person that actually thought we were going to win that was Big Marvin and Pastor Joe, who were selling t-shirts up in Fife. And you obviously know the dynamics of it. And this is an absolute true story, this. The dynamics that Barry jumped on my shoulder, and he actually said to me about 5 minutes to 4 minutes to go, he went, "We've effing won this." And I remember thinking to myself, this Big Marvin's going to miscontrol a pass for Kyriakos or something, we're going to lose this. And we won the game. And then we get escorted off. And the actual dynamics of the dressing room, which I think is important to share with you, because every player's different. And when I went into the dressing room down for the East End, we don't really show a great deal of emotion. And I was overwhelmed. I just started crying, and I walked out of the dressing room. And I was out and I was on my knees. I was doing like that against the wall, kind of trying to phone my wife. And by the way, boys, she went to New York. I thought she was going to Spain. I'm thinking, you know, but she went to New York, and I hadn't been to New York. So I phoned my wife, got a hold of her, and there's a shop called Bloomingdale's, which is the size of that stadium. It's ridiculous. And she said, I can't hear what you're saying. I went, we've effing won the league, we've won the league. And I'm crying like a wee bit, just overwhelmed. And she says, bear with me a second, I'm going to go into the stairwell. And she goes into the stairwell, and I says, we've won the league. She starts crying. And then all of a sudden I can hear in a big Yorkshire accent, what's the matter, Linda? And right? And I'm thinking to myself, who's she with in New York? That was the first thing, boys, right? And then she went, oh, Mick. And I'm thinking, Mick? She's out there with one of that lot. And it actually turned out that it was Mick McCarthy and Fiona, his wife. And then she relayed the story that I'd won the league, and me and Mick would be back in Millwall, and I says, listen, tell the wee man I'm absolutely delighted for him. I know what it means to him to win the league with Rangers. But it was just a tremendous feeling, and I won't bore you with the details with this, but there was a guy who abused me for 5 weeks outside my daughter's nursery. They were building an extension, and every day we exchanged pleasantries, as you do with the opposition. And I drove past with the Bank of Scotland medal, and I put the window down and went, get that hold up, you dirties. And that is a true story.
Big Marvin, his believe mantra, did that make a difference in the dressing room?
Listen, by the way, see to play with the club, I share a room with Marvin when we go to Hong Kong, and we hold it. But I can't emphasise the desire to win that big guy. I know he's a man of the cloth, and he's got a lot of beliefs. We went to play in Lanzarote last October, I think it was. And it was guys your age, and then there was a team at 18 pitched up, and there were little red arrows jumping all over the place. And Big Marvin smashed one of them and stood on the guy's head. This is true, and Ian Durant was sitting on a wee stool behind the goal, and he went, oh my God, he said, he's seen his eyes popping out, he says. So that's the kind of guys you need. Yeah, he's an absolute superstar. I love him to death, he's a great guy.
Fantastic. And what did the fans mean to you?
Listen, they don't mean. Listen, I'm just one of them. That was what I said to Tony Gubler when I'm on a group chat with about 20 guys from Denison, and it's 50-50 basically. It's just guys I grew up with for about the last 35 years, and for guys that you know really well, you've grown up, marriages, deaths, the whole shooting match. The amount of abuse we exchange with each other, I'm just glad nobody can get into this phone where I'll never work again.
And who are your friends from back in the day when you played at Rangers? Are you still keep?
Oh no, listen, we were always in a circle. We play a lot of five-a-sides. We go to Hong Kong quite a lot, and this is to give you an example. When you talk about your fans, you don't really grasp what the mentality's like to actually guys like Bomber Brown, the goalie, you know, all these Gordon Jury, and they've won umpteen titles. Ian Ferguson was over there as well one year, and we lost our first game, and it gives you an insight to what it means to these guys. And by the way, from start to finish, they were kind of having a right go at it, and we lost our first game, and Bomber and Ian Ferguson were this close, and I'm thinking, oh my God, they're going to scud each other, and they were going, hey, get effing won this, we're going to get into these. And I'm thinking to myself, you can understand the reason why these guys won 9 in a row, because the actual desire to win and represent the jersey meant a lot to them. So I keep in touch with them all. We've got a golf day in a couple of weeks as well. Durante's still off 94, handicap, Bomber, they've no shame, they keep walking away with all the prizes, the tellies and everything. The handicap never gets cut.
See, and that passion you talk about, do you see signs of that in the park today?
I still think we lack a little bit of it. I seen a player last week where and I don't want to be critical of the boys in a day like this, we let a wee four stitches. Now, my first game at Parkhead, I had a 2-inch tear in my calf in the second minute and played the 90 minutes. And I just think they need to, and that's not saying that, I just think we need to get guys who know what it means and take the game to this. The fact that these swung about, I'll tell you a story, and then I'll tell you a story, it was really important. Do you remember Alex McLeish was the manager here, and Martin O'Neill, we beat them 2-0 I think it was, and Martin O'Neill grabbed Neil Lennon and walked right up to the Brimlin Road, and I'd done my calf in the first game. I think, aye, very good, I'm waiting in this half line to shake hands to them so I can do it in the right manner. So I waited for the Dumb and Dumber to come back. I'm only kidding. And anyway, so I walked through the two and I shook their hands and I looked up to a big pal of mine that was in the middle of the stand, big Andy smiling, and I went like, yes, get up, right? And when I walked along the tunnel, Alex was waiting for the two of them to shake both their hands. And then he was waiting for me. And big Alex, the big old unit, he grabbed me. He went, don't you ever let me effing see you doing that again. And I said, what are you talking about? And then he turned around and he says, listen son, this is Rangers, we want to lose with dignity. And it meant the world to me. I'm 35 and this guy's slapped me down, and it just says, and he says, you're right Gaffer, you want to lose with dignity, which means you carry yourself right for this club. And I think there's players in that dressing room for that lot that don't do it. And I'll tell you categorically, this is not to pander to use, I've said to people within Rangers, see if anybody tried to tie a scarf at that goalpost today. If I was in the middle, let's put it this way, see if I was in the middle of the park with Barry or Fernando and this carry-on was going on, I'd say to them, let's just walk up to the Blooming Road, stand at the post, anybody tries to put anything in that post, just don't allow it. Don't allow it. Or even the stewards, just don't allow it. This is the difference about this place, this is your pitch.
How would you describe, you're talking about McLeish, how would you describe him as a man and as a manager?
Oh, he's tremendous. I remember he was at Motherwell, and me, him and Andy Walker had one of the nights, it was like something out of The Hangover, down in Durham. I was playing for Sunderland at the time, and it was this toss-up to see who was the worst between the three. It was a tremendous night, but I've known Alex since I was a wee boy at Scotland, and you'll love this. He was giving out t-shirts and it was Rambo's body and Big Alec with the ginger hair when he was playing for Scotland. It was tremendous. So I've known him for a long time, and I've worked with him over in Belgium, so listen, he's a man's man. And I remember bringing all the Sunderland players up here. I think it was the day that Paul Lambert had an issue 1 or 2 teeth with Albert's knee, and we were in the night box and Big Alec was there, and I think he was the manager of Motherwell Hibs at the time, so he was clearly a Rangers man. So he's here today as well, so I'm going to pop along and see him and Arthur and a few of the boys and reminisce about some good times.
Fantastic. And the greatest Old Firm game you played in?
Old Firm game? Well listen, I think in terms of importance, we'd lost my first season and I wasn't getting any younger. I was 34, so I thought if I'm lucky to get a year out this, and yeah, I'm lucky if I get a year, I might play a wee bit for the second year. And we lost our first game when I done the calf, and I had about 10 weeks out, and then we played them in a League Cup game here, and we hadn't beaten Celtic the year before. I remember Big Alex saying when I met up at the beginning of the season, he says, listen, you need to reiterate to guys like Dado, Big Miladinovic, Dado, Boomsong, and a few of the foreigners. Nacho was here, we knew a wee bit of the score, and he says, listen, we've got to win a game so that we have a bit of belief. And we were battering here, they were 1-1-0 Celtic, and then Shotter and Dado in the League Cup. So that was a belief throughout the team that we could actually turn them over, which was paramount to get on and win in the league.
We're going to hand it over to the fans. Any of you guys got a question? You put your hands in the air.